Too much light.
Too much light. Hello and happy Friday. Happy Juneteenth.
That's right.
I just have been reading a lot about it because I
Yeah.
definitely did not learn
No.
about it.
In school? No.
Honestly, not only did we never study Juneteenth, I don't even think I was ever taught about the Civil War. Like, I grew up in New England, and all we ever learned about every single year was the Revolutionary War.
Oh, yeah, you guys are really into that. Yeah.
Really into that.
The
Never
whole Boston Tea Party situation probably takes over a lot.
lots of Plymouth Plantation. Never ever. Honestly, we never studied the Civil War. Like, never went through the battles or really any of what
I feel
was.
like we also just did kind of like a cursory, like high level dates and stuff, and then that was it.
I don't really remember anything else I learned either, but I figure it's really interesting moment to like be a parent and figure out what we're going to teach our kids too, and think about what they will learn in school versus what you
Well, I'm hoping this is the beginning of maybe more accurate history that's being taught in school.
I do remember one family, like the dad of this one family. I went to school with the daughter, and probably in the early 90s, he was a doctor and Jewish, and they brought him, they like flew him over to Germany to go into schools and teach kids about the Holocaust. And they never had learned it like in the schools at that time. I have this like vague memory of this story happening. And to me at the time, mostly what I remembered was it was weird that you might not learn things that are true or happen in school. Like, I hadn't gotten to the point where you like question what you were learning, what you were taught, or what you weren't.
Yeah. I mean, I still think a lot of people don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm just here in my summertime sweatsuit.
Summer sweats. Nice.
Summer sweats. My summer sweats. We've been having a lot of that June gloom. So it burns off and gets warm, but this is my early day attire. And then I change into warm attire. Or as it's commonly known, like sweatshirt and shorts or sweater and shorts.
As one California look. That outfit is not appropriate anywhere else. There's nowhere else where that works. I'm a big fan of it. I like the sweatshirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Sweater and shorts kind of look. I remember seeing that in like catalogs and stuff growing up. And I'm like, it's either 90 or it's 40. There's no sweatshirt and shorts.
Here starts out a little chilly, warms right up.
No, when I was in college, it was the denim skirt with Ugg boots trend, and they were like the tall, fuzzy Ugg boots.
Oh yeah.
And I was in New York, and it never made sense. Nobody ever wore that. We would see photos of that, and we're like, "Oh, that looks cute," which is also another problem. But it never made any sense because in New York, if you were wearing those Ugg boots on your feet, like your feet were sweating.
I embraced it. I wore Uggs and shorts or skirts.
Any sense?
Fabulous California. Well, here's the thing: you can only do it like maybe June. Once you start hitting July, it's like you wake up and it's like hot. You know,
it's kind of always an appropriate San Francisco look. It makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, except
we have had the best weather. We have had no June gloom. This has been like seriously a really nice stretch of weather. It's crazy
for you.
It's crazy.
August is always the worst. My birthday was routinely very cloudy and cold.
So what are you cooking for us?
So today I am not cooking. I am
neither am I. What are we doing?
I am making. So especially we had like crazy heat last week. It was like in the hundreds, like so hot. So we've not been doing a ton of cooking, but I have been making a lot of tuna. And it's what? Oh, that sound? That's Jasper playing with his toys outside. He's got a hold of a squeaker toy and he's showing it his boss.
It's so cute.
I'm using the Safe Catch albacore tuna.
Excellent.
And I make delicious tuna. And I thought, why?
I'm so excited to see your methods. I love tuna. I've loved tuna since I was a little kid. I was always that kid with the smelly sandwich.
I can't get Eloise to try tuna, but I
I
love
can't
it.
get my kids to try it either, which is crazy because they love like the flavor of those like seafood or seafood.
Seaweed. Eloise loves seaweed. Yeah, she'll eat seaweed, no problem.
They
Won't
both
try
like
tuna.
salmon, like, you know,
Yeah.
and I can't get them to try tuna, which is crazy. And I already loved it so much. But I am also so picky about tuna that I don't want to eat it if anybody other than me made it. I would never order it in a restaurant. Like, never. I wouldn't even dream of.
I have ordered it, but usually I've tasted it first. Like sometimes at like places you can try the tuna before you commit to it.
Like deli case with like a pile of tuna salad. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I don't know why. It's probably good. I just have this weird thing about it. And when I was little, I hated it with celery of any kind. If you put any kind of celery in there,
Celery in it.
I would.
I
do like celery in it now.
Oh,
but
okay.
weren't we talking about celery leaves here?
Oh, I'm putting them in. I love it.
Yeah. Celery leaves are amazing, but I do now chop up celery and put it in. So as a grown up, that is one change that I have made to it. But when I was a kid, I wouldn't touch it that way.
Interesting.
Yep.
Just put a little bit of the leavies. Okay. I'm just going to get started with my chip. And you're not going to be able to see my gorgeous face. I'm sorry for that.
Sadness. But you can show us your gorgeous knife skills.
I can. Put my little leaves over there.
So you were
salad because
nice.
I like it. I like the little oniony flavor, but it's not like crazy aggressive.
My mom used to sprinkle a little onion powder in it, which I don't do now, but I think I did like as a kid.
And I know people that do garlic powder in it and stuff. Yeah. I don't do a lot of like seasonings. I only use salt and pepper and then my herbs. I have a little dill, some fresh dill. I'm gonna put it in.
I don't do that much because I don't often have dill or think of it, but I would like that. That sounds okay. I'm on board.
You'll accept that?
Do you know where most of the tuna comes from? Most canned tuna?
No, where?
Samoa.
Really?
Yeah. Most comes from Samoa. The biggest, like Starkist and is it Starkist? Chicken of the Sea.
Yeah.
Those big tuna brands all have their packing facilities in Samoa.
Did you see them when you were there?
So apparently you could take a tour, and I really wanted to go take a tour. But they were only open on like really specific days, and they're in American Samoa, which is, we did fly into American Samoa, but we didn't stay there as long. So we were not there for enough days to manage to take a tour, but I would love to have done that. They have a ton of tuna coming in, and it's all around those islands out there. And that's where we get like, I forget, we should look up the number or whatever, but it's like 80, 90%. It's like most of it.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Is that just real? There's just a lot of tuna out there or what?
Yeah, there's just a lot of tuna out there in the, in the middle of the Pacific.
But that's like the bad tuna?
No, I mean, I would eat chicken of the sea, but I don't mind it's definitely worth it. That's what I get now. There's one called Wild Seas and Planet something. Yeah. There are a bunch of brands that really like take the extra level to be sustainable. So I think that's more important now in terms of like taste, as long as you get the
taste wise.
Albacore, I think it tastes okay. So have you ever had albacore like a fillet of tuna, like instead of ahi or something like that? Actually had albacore?
I've had albacore for sushi.
Yeah.
But
it's great. I love it. I used to be able to get it a lot from my seafood purveyor when I had a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find in the stores. I almost never see it.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know if it just hasn't
buying it.
It's like marketing or demand. So it isn't really that people don't want it, but it's that it doesn't, historically have a market. But it's like such a catch-22 because it doesn't have a market because they don't sell it, and they don't sell it because it doesn't have a market. So somebody has to sort of break through. So you can sometimes find it at smaller places, but it's a narrower, it's like smaller in circumference, and it's a little bit whiter than like ahi or anything like that is really pink.
You know what I made this week? Because we're talking about seafood that I hadn't had in forever, but it was really good. Was halibut.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
I hadn't made it. I don't know why I think of halibut as like an 80s fish.
An 80s fish, really?
Yeah, like
Mahi mahi.
halibut. What?
Mahi mahi is an 80s fish, I think.
It's in the same category as far as I'm concerned.
That's funny.
But it was delicious. It was really good.
Halibut's great. And in Northern California, we have amazing halibut. I think they swim past you too, but it's crazy expensive. That's why I mostly don't get it.
It was like $13.
Oh, that's cheap.
And it was wild.
That's
It was-
cheap.
Yeah, it was like such a good
Did you get that out of the back of somebody's truck?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods?
Yeah.
$13? That is cheap. Cheap. Like I'm talking halibut.
I'm trying to rethink of it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I'm talking like $28 a pound is
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't keep track of like it just happened to be there when I was ordering because I did the delivery, right?
yeah, okay.
Got it. And it was like, and I'm like really careful to make sure nothing's farm raised. I don't.
Yeah.
And so it said wild, and I was like, okay.
What Wild Alaska, did it say?
I think it did say Alaska.
Yeah. Alaska is, I guess, usually a little bit less expensive. That is still very cheap. Like any fish that you're getting for like less than $16 a pound is inexpensive.
And the delightful.
The halibut is great.
Out of the back.
It's really good, but if you can get the like local California, I usually buy like 1 pound, once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So expensive, so good. But the Alaska one's really good too. I don't see it very often.
You don't want it very often?
I don't see it very often.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, the king salmon is coming into season in California.
Yeah.
And you can also get steelhead trout.
I got salmon this week from Whole Foods, and it was expensive. I got the wild caught, but a pound of salmon was like $20.
Yeah. So right now it's called steelhead trout. And you could not tell the difference between it and salmon. Like if you didn't know what it was, it's like it's pretty much the same thing. I think there's something like the trout. I'm now just like shedding terrible advice on the internet. But it's either
that anyone should check anything they hear on the internet, people should check.
Yeah, right. It's either that the trout never goes into the ocean. I think that's what it is. Where the salmon goes, it leaves the river and it goes into the ocean, and then it comes back, famously up the river.
Right.
I think the trout is like essentially a very, very similar fish, but it never goes into the ocean.
So that makes it less fishy tasting, or what?
No, it tastes exactly the same. Like you could do, and so specifically steelhead trout is the one that's like salmon. If you get regular trout, it's tiny and it's thin, and you could definitely tell the difference. Steelhead trout is a lot like salmon. But it could be that the trout is only ever in the ocean and never goes into the river. So it's one or the other.
Wow. There's people better be doing their research if they
look it up. Somebody who is not filming a video, Google it and dump it in the chat and let me know which it is. But
today is Helen's birthday. My mother-in-law, Helen.
Oh, happy birthday, Helen.
Yes. And I'll say, hi, Eloise.
Yeah.
Yes, we're making tuna, Eloise, your favorite.
Oh, here it is.
What? Here's what is.
Oh, I was waiting for a comment to come in and I didn't see it. I see it now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What was I going to say?
I had Dijon. I don't like Dijon.
All right.
Not yellow. I like yellow for certain things, but not in my tuna.
Yeah, like hot dogs.
Like hot dogs. Exactly.
What else? Bologna?
I never eat bologna. I've never liked bologna. I never had bologna sandwiches.
I never did either. And my dad loves bologna, and I still never ate it as a kid.
Your dad loves bologna? Your dad won't eat a million things, but bologna's one of the things on his list?
Yeah.
Bobby C.
And he would, on weekends, he would fry it. So he would put it in a saute pan and fry it. And
Does that
then
make it
out of it.
better?
And then he would serve it to himself with a giant glass of Mountain Dew on ice.
Oh my goodness.
And probably some chips. Probably some chips on the side.
I mean, chips in a sandwich. I feel like I can't live a life without chips with my sandwich.
My grocery order this week came with like a bag of chips that I think they made a mistake. I didn't order them, but it was like a bag of like salted kettle chips. I wasn't mad.
Yeah. So I have my shallots in here, my celery, a little bit of dill, Dijon mustard, and
will your pug drink the tuna juice? Did you ever try that?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Did you ever give it to your cat?
No, I didn't.
No, never. Every cat I've ever had, every time I open a can of tuna, you just put the juice in a little bowl for them, and they go nuts for it. They
turn them into crazy beggars every time you open a can.
Yeah, but it's no food waste, so it's good.
I guess that's true. Jasper will eat anything.
I bet I used to have dogs that would then come and lick the can out afterwards too. I always saved it for a special treat for my cat, but I think a lot of dogs might like it too.
So I think I'm going to add some capers.
Only if it's water. Wait, I just want to not spread any more bad advice on the internet. Only if it's tuna packed in water, which that is the kind that you had. But like if you get the Italian kind packed in oil, don't get that.
Packed in water.
I don't think anyway. Do you put mayo in there?
Yes, I did. I showed it.
Oh, you did? Okay, I missed the mayo.
Pay attention. Yes, I put mayonnaise. I don't put a lot of mayonnaise in though.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't like when other people make it either, because I want a very specific amount of mayo. I can't tell you how much it is. I only know when I'm making it.
Yes, I like it to be not too dry, but not where you hear the squishiness.
I know exactly. Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Where do you stand on relish in your tuna?
No.
I think it's like a good balance of sweet and savory.
I'm fine. I get it, but I don't want it. But it's not gross to me, but I don't want it. I wouldn't put the Dijon in there either. You lost me at the Dijon.
Oh my God, you're out of your mind.
But now here's my question. Do you make it into a grilled cheese and make a tuna melt?
No.
That's like,
I hate hot tuna.
That is like the best.
Hot tuna? No.
But only when I make it. Like I would never order a tuna melt in a restaurant under like any circumstance. I would never do it. But my tuna melt on bread with lots of cheese and melty, perfect tuna, that is like the best sandwich there is.
Matt loves a tuna melt. And sometimes he will take my tuna and turn it into a tuna melt.
Yeah.
Really
good. Lots of cheddar, sharp cheddar melted in there. I don't have any tuna.
I've never gotten behind warm tuna.
But if you do it right, the tuna itself isn't really that warm. It's just like the bread and the cheese is melted and the tuna is still kind of cold.
I chop up my capers and put them in for a little bit of briny acid.
I like capers a lot. I never put them in tuna, but I could do that. I would try that. You're putting a lot of stuff in there.
I know.
All right.
That's how you make something good.
It looks good. I think I would put a little more mayo.
I was just going to say that. I'm going to put a little more mayo.
A little more.
But see, you have to do it in steps because you don't know. It's better to do it, bit by bit.
Did you eat tuna when you were pregnant?
I did. Yeah. So like this one, they test for the amount of mercury in each one. And I think there's other ones that I got at like Trader Joe's that also were like lower mercury. Because I did like tuna while I was pregnant and I did it.
It said like you could eat like, it was some crazy amount, like a can a week or something like that. Maybe even more than that. It was like, even as much as I like it, I would never have even come close to what they said the minimum was.
I'm going to put a little bit of salt because I like salt.
That's my favorite salt. Show that box.
That's only the best, baby. Diamond Crystal.
Diamond Crystal Kosher. Every once in a while, when my store is out of it, and I have to get the Morton Kosher. It's
Not
just
the
not.
same.
I just don't like it.
No,
Love
it's
that
not.
Diamond Crystal.
Okie dokie.
So I have to go to the dentist today. Look at these pearly whites.
They look beautiful.
You have not been, right? You haven't. Have you been to any kind of appointment or anything?
I went right before this all started.
Yeah.
I
didn't like volunteer. This was just my normal appointment, but they opened up last week. So I think they just didn't like reschedule. I imagine they'll start folding in people who maybe missed their appointment or whatever. But I just kind of, my time is now. I don't know. It should be interesting. I guess I feel more worried for the dentist than I do actually for me, because they're going to have to see a lot of people. But
I think, yeah, as long as you're like the only person at a time and in the room, and they're going to be wearing the shield and a mask and everything.
Yeah, they always have the plastic shield, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be that different for them.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. I finally made an appointment for my hair, which desperately needs it.
Oh, we still don't have salons open.
It's in 2 weeks, and it's a place where my old person ended up retiring during COVID. So then I also was tasked with a whole nother problem, having to try to find a human to do my hair that I don't know.
Yeah.
But they have this thing over in the Paseo Mall where it's like people have their own little like salons inside of like a space.
Okay.
So it's her. And you can't you have to wear a mask the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to bring your own reading materials. They don't supply any reading materials. You have to bring, if you want water, you have to bring your old water. And I guess like old, they used to have magazines laying around and stuff.
Yeah. But I only would look at them when I was waiting. Like I never could read while they're doing my hair because your head's always moving. And every hairdresser I've ever had, I like to talk to. So I just talk to them the whole time.
Well, this will be interesting. We'll see. I added a little more Dijon because I feel like it needed more of a kick.
And in fairness, I don't dye my hair either. So I never have to like sit and wait.
Yeah, that's the part where I usually have to do something while my hair is getting.
So what is she going to, when she colors it, are you just going to sit there or do you go somewhere else for like, don't you have to leave it on your head for like an hour?
It's not that long. Good Lord. If I left it on my head for an hour, we'd be in real trouble. Real trouble. Don't let Allie do your hair, guys. If she offers to color it, just say no. To think you were offering to do that.
I read the box. How was it?
Delightful.
Good.
Yes. Very herby.
I'm okay with that. No, you're not going to mash the avocado into it, right? That just gets.
What kind of animal do I look like?
Well, some people say that you mash it in.
People mash avocado in there? No. This is raw pop.
I've heard it. I don't like the texture of that combined. I like the nice. That looks like a perfect avocado.
It's a good avocado. Here in lovely California, we get lovely avocados. Over the course of my COVID situation, not my COVID, but us being indoors.
Right.
I really started baking and eating with abandon. Hence the reason this is not going on bread at the moment.
Oh, you make a wrap.
I'm going to put it in little
boats. Nice.
Because just trying to, dial it back a little.
So some sandwiches, if you put them in boats, I wouldn't be down for that. But tuna in particular, I like because it's good. It's like a mushy texture.
Yeah, and I feel like this will hold it nicely.
Lettuce.
There's a little bit you can see.
Yeah, that's cute.
Put it in there. Matt's outside drooling by the door waiting for this. Because he loves my tuna.
I would give it a bite. I would taste it.
I mean, you were out at the Dijon, so I was a little worried.
But that's okay. So here's the thing. If you had that let's say you had it in your fridge and I came over and you were like, hey, do you want a tuna sandwich? And you pulled it out of your fridge, I would be like, no, I'm not eating it. I wouldn't. But if I was actually sitting at your table right now and you gave me that and I watched you make it, I would eat it.
Okay. So
and I don't know why I have such like weird thoughts about tuna, even though I love it. But
yes, I'm going make some little tuna boats now.
Don't ever open tuna.
That is my tuna situation.
But then I would show you how to make a tuna melt right now.
I mean, do you want to tell the world how you make your tuna melt?
I just told you, make a grilled cheese and put tuna inside. But I would do it, and it would be delicious.
I feel like there's got to be more to it than that.
2 slices of bread, butter both sides, put in lots of cheddar cheese, either thinly sliced or grated.
Okay.
Put on the tuna, close them up, and then turn it into a grilled cheese. Butter, only butter, lots of butter.
Do you put the cheese on both sides?
I usually only put it on one side.
Okay. Okay.
And then you put it in and you cover it so that you make sure the cheese gets time to melt, but then you have to uncover it so it gets brown and not too soggy.
See, I thought you would do like broiler situation. Yeah. Like,
nope.
Melt it. And...
Nope. I don't want it open faced. It needs to have bread on both sides, and it needs to have a lot of butter so that you get that really buttery bread.
A lot of restaurants, you get the open face tuna melt.
I don't want that.
I mean, I don't ever eat it because I don't like hot tuna.
What's the point of making it open faced?
I don't know. You know what I do like open face though? It was like one of my favorite things to eat as a kid. Open face turkey sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay.
The hot turkey. So basically they put the bread.
Oh yeah. What did they used to call that?
I don't know, but you never see it on any restaurants anymore. Must have been an 80s thing, but I used to love that as a kid.
It's like a brown hot or a turkey hot, or there's some name of something kind of similar.
You Rhode Islanders like to name your food weird things.
Derby hot. No, I don't even think I think it's from the South or something.
Is it?
A Derby hot, a turkey, something like that. I don't know.
Derby hot?
Has Matt ever heard of that?
Hey, Matt. Yeah. Do you know any weird names for a hot turkey sandwich?
Open face with
open face hot turkey sandwich.
Do I have strong feelings about it?
No. Do you have strong feelings about it? No. Do you have a name of it? Do you know what they would be called, like on a menu? No. He has no idea. He says open face turkey sandwich. Matt, I have your.
I come from a long line of bread lovers, so leaving off one slice of bread always just seems like a cheat.
I mean, I used to like to get that bread like nice and like gravy filled because it all had a gravy. And then I dip it with the mashed potatoes and the bread and the turkey. Why do people make this anymore? Why can I never find this on a menu?
I don't know. Does the mashed potatoes go under the turkey?
No, it's always on the side. So I just cut it and then dip it. And if they were really good, sometimes
like roasted turkey?
Yeah,
like
roasted
turkey, like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah. That definitely has a name. And I also picture it on my like blue portioned school lunch trays. I know they used to serve that for school lunch.
Oh, Dennis says he agrees. You got to have 2 slices of bread.
Yeah, like otherwise it feels like you're just trying to save money by only serving me 1 slice of bread. Why would I want it?
I like bread too, but I feel like for this, they poured the gravy all over the top. So I never really felt like, you know what I mean? It never really occurred to me that they were sticking me on the bread. Plus I was getting a good carb amount from my mashed potatoes.
I feel like that's different. Was it on like a piece of bread, like a slice of?
Yeah, like it was on a piece of bread and they'd layer roasted turkey on it. And then they cover it with gravy.
Yeah. They do it's also called a tartine. Like when they do that at Tartine, the bakery, and they give you a huge slice of awesome bread and they put anything, roasted veggies or mushrooms, lots of cheese over the top. Like then I wouldn't feel slighted. But if you did like an open face on a piece of sandwich bread.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah. What did Matt think? Did he have a bite?
Oh, Matt, what do you think? Do you want to come and tell the world? He's camera shy right now, guys. I don't know. He gave it the
thumbs up. Excellent. Well, it looked great. I wish I had some tuna now. I need to go to the grocery store.
I wish I could share this tuna with you so that you could give your reaction to its deliciousness.
Someday I'll see you again and you can make me some tuna.
I know. It feels like never, but I hope someday.
I know. I'm supposed to be there in 2 weeks and I look forward to my LA trip every year and it's really sad.
It is really sad. Next summer.
2021. I've got a lot to cram in. Yeah. So you are not going to be around next week?
I'm not going to be around next week. I'm going to Palm Springs.
4th of July. So to all of our fans, Eloise,
Eloise and
Dennis,
Helen.
no, we get some replays. We're gonna take a break and eventually format it a little bit differently, but we're gonna keep cooking. Stay tuned to find out when you can watch us live.
Yes, but this was fun.
Always fun.
Yes.
I really like the idea of watching you cook. I feel like the commentary, it's great. I'm gonna go Google some things now. I need to Google steelhead trout
And
hot turkey sandwiches. What else? I feel like there was one other thing that was some shady. Do I need to Google raviolis?
Oh, I mean, ravioli's good. Oh, homemade. Are you making homemade ravioli?
Oh, or is that a request for next time?
I mean, that would definitely have to be Allie. The one time we made pasta together.
Yeah.
We started at 5 and we ate at 9.
It did take a long time. I still have the pasta machine, but I don't think I've used it since 2006.
Yeah. Well, now everyone says you don't even need a pasta machine. Just hand cut everything and all this
You
stuff.
still have to roll it.
You have to roll it. I know.
Yeah. All right. We have a request for homemade ravioli. We'll see. I could do gnocchi. That's easier. I know how to do that.
Okay.
A little bit
I'll
easier.
be happy to watch you make any of it.
All right.
All right. Thanks for
Well,
the
enjoy your lunch. I'm gonna go have leftover pizza, probably cold.
That sounds actually better, but
An
I'm
apple.
doing tuna and lettuce boats. Womp womp.
Great.
All right. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye. Bye, little Wheezy.